Tuzungumze moja kwa moja kuhusiana na taarifa za El Nino. El Nino kuna nani huko? Huyu hapa Mheshimiwa Makamu wa Rais akizungumza hapa kuhusiana na masuala hayo ya milioni 800 kila mwaka.
Afanyia kazi kabisa. Ndiposa mliona juzi vile alikuja katika ile Ma Festival. Alisema kwamba hata ile
your own remuneration role. Lakini msiweke pesa mingi sana, mlipisha kidogo. There is too much competition. Even these lawyers, I can tell you, because some of us wafanya biashara pia, hatuwalipi ile iko kwa hiyo role. Tuna negotiate because mawakili ni wengi sana. Tusema wewe ni ngapi, wewe ni ngapi, wewe ni ngapi, wanashindana inateremuka. It is good to have the remuneration role as a benchmark. But you are also many. You have told me you are 35,000. 28,000 are in practice. So mutashindana tu pole pole so that Kenyans can also get the best deal. So that one I'll do. Again, you have talked about too many regulations and will help. The members of the National Assembly are here. The Attorney General is here. We can agree on how to fast track the review of these regulations so that we can collapse them into something that is making sense, so that we don't have too many laws for the same person doing the same thing. So that is something we can help in terms of fast tracking with the leader of the National Assembly in Parliament, with the Attorney General, with our legal drafters. We can work together and we can help you to fast track that one. The MP for Molo, KK, my good friend, has said about you people being targeted when there are investigations. It is true. Even the procurement people who are here crying the same. It is true, and it's very sad. And I said, and I want once more to reiterate to ACC and DCI, please hire professionals to be your investigators. Hire accountants, hire procurement people who can advise you on how the investigation is going. You find some of these policemen, they have no idea about accounting. You know? So he is being asked to interrogate you and write statements on things that himself he cannot comprehend. You know? I from a personal experience on how absurd our investigative agencies can be when they are investigating complex matters beyond their pay grade. When we were fighting to come to government, and the previous government targeted me for persecution because of my political stand, which was very firm, and decided to try to blackmail me to change my stand. They sent CID officers all over my life to look around my life for 50 years and turn it around and see whether they can get something. When we were fighting to come to government, and the previous government targeted me microfinance for persecution because of my political stand for 8 years. Fixed deposit, 200 million, and decided to try to blackmail me to change my stand. Money I had earned, they sent hard work, saved, put 200 million, and through good advice by accountants, told me put this money in the fixed deposit and leave for the interest. And I stopped working. I put it, I negotiated for 13%. And every month I was getting 1.9 million, which is money actually I did not need. It's too much. 1.9 million is too much for one person. So I was living on the interest. I give a little to Pastor Dorcas. You know, she's a pastor, she doesn't need a lot of money. So, ingine kidogo, mimi nakula na Marafiki. Ingine napeleka kwa Siasa kidogo kidogo. So, this money is in my personal account. I put it on a core deposit for 3 months. So every 3 months, it leaves my personal account, goes to a suspense account. It stays there. At the end of the 3 months, inarudishwa yote pamoja na interest. I remain with the interest. I reinvest it back. So that movement back and forth, 4 times a year, a corporal in police said, I have 800 million every year that is coming to the account. You know, that movement back and forth. So they calculated for 8 years, they said it's 12.4 billion. And they put up a case of 12.4 billion. And it's the same amount of money. The only 200 is the only money. There is no other money. Movement of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So yeye anaangalia pale, mwisho pale, at the head pale. Hey, they calculated, they say this man, in 8 years, he has gotten 12.4 billion. He needs to say where this money has come from. But it was the same 200 million. I tried to explain to him, huyo mjinga hawezi shika, hawezi elewa. But if they had an accountant or a banker in that bank, tungefika hapo kweli? It's just a rollover. We were trying to tell them what is a rollover. Anasema hiyo ni nini? Hawezi shika. And that is where you have found accountants have been called to record statement. The fellow recording cannot understand what is it that you are saying. He has no idea about books of accounts. So I'm saying, EACC, DCI, please, for you to deal with corruption and economic crimes, hire professionals in every field as your investigators. Have accountants, have procurement officers, have bankers, have all sorts of professionals for you to deal conclusively with economic crimes because they are complex. An ordinary policeman trained in Kegajo cannot understand those things. And I want to say now that we have agreed on police reforms, we have agreed that we'll have a cadet entry so that we attract professionals, so that you enter at the level of an inspector when you are professional. I want to encourage professionals across the country. When we implement that reform and there's a recruitment, please, accountants, come to the police force as a direct cadet and come and help these people to deal with issues that are complex. Au wengine wafanye kazi hii ya kawaida. Ya kushika wewe, kuweka wewe pingu, kutoa wewe, hiyo wafanye. Lakini ingine hii ni mambo ngumu hii. These are difficult issues. Even ourselves, and we are graduates, we are not able to understand those things. So that's why we hire accountants to advise us. That's why we hire lawyers to advise us, because you are not good at that profession. So to avoid this harassment of professionals by police, let us bring in professionals in the investigation agencies and things will be okay. Finally, you are aware we want to privatize all non-profit making state corporations so that we can give them to you people because you are the one who knows how to do business. The work of government is not to do business, PS. Our work is to give services. If you look at the sugar sector in Western Kenya, there are several factories, some are state-owned, others are private. The soil is the same. The environment is the same. The farmers.
Baada ya kumsikiliza Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua, makamu wa rais wa taifa la Kenya, mimi na mzee wangu tunaongozana sambamba kabisa kuelekea kule Mombasa, ambapo baraza la magavana nchini lamruka kabisa Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua kuhusu mgao wa fedha za El Nino. Hii taarifa imekaa vipi? Iko hivi, baraza la magavana COG limevunja ukimya kuhusu mvutano ambao umekuwa ukishuhudiwa baina ya gavana wa Mombasa Abdul Swamad Nasir na naibu wa rais Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua kuhusiana na kutolewa kwa fedha za kukabiliana na mvua zile za El Nino. Taarifa hii kwa kina nasema katika barua iliyotazamwa na vyombo vya habari, baraza hilo kupitia kwa mwenyekiti wake Bi Anne Waiguru lilikanusha madai ya kupokea fedha za kukabiliana na mvua hizo. Hadi tarehe ya leo Jumatano Novemba 22, 2023, tungependa kueleza kuwa serikali za kaunti hazijapokea fedha zozote